बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा और मसाला।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है।
स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चंकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has. But I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No. It was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
New Zealand Prime Minister in his address during Indian Diaspora Community event highlights that an Indian Prime Minister visited the country after 40 years, but Prime Minister Modi was worth the wait. Prime Minister Modi addresses Indian diaspora in Auckland and highlights the strong people-to-people connect between India and New Zealand. Prime Minister Modi and New Zealand Prime Minister hold delegation-level bilateral talks, exchange several MOUs in key sectors, FTA, $20 billion investment, top of agenda. Indian Navy inducts INS Mahendragiri, the 6th Project 17A indigenous stealth frigate, into its Eastern Fleet at Visakhapatnam. National Conference extends invitation to 52 opposition leaders, including separatist leader Umar Farooq. Will India Alliance share the stage and toe the separatist line? A 9-member committee formed to examine the draft UCC bill in West Bengal. The state now plans to table the legislation during the upcoming August Assembly session. Crumbling civic infra continues to claim lives across India. A 28-year-old man dies in Noida after falling into uncovered waterlogged drain, while 8-year-old boy Ayan dies after being electrocuted in Ghaziabad.
हम ये मांग कर रहे हैं कि अबेटमेंट टू सुसाइड का केस लगना चाहिए क्लास टीचर के बाद, क्योंकि बच्चा इतना परेशान है, विजिबली डिस्ट्रेस है, बार बार जा रहा है, उसके बाद भी टीचर ने उसे ईज नहीं करा और उसे निकलने दिया क्लास के बाद.
Republic continues to fight for justice for Amira after her parents now reveal that teachers had repeatedly ignored her pleas even when she was visibly distressed. Donald Trump issues latest threat to Iran. It says the US has thousands of missiles logged loaded aiming at Iran, with thousands more to follow. Here's our top focus at this hour. Coming to light from West Bengal, a 9-member committee has now been formed to examine the draft Uniform Civil Code Bill. West Bengal Chief Minister Suvendu Adhikari has now said that UCC will be implemented in the state soon. The committee, in fact, will be chaired by retired Supreme Court Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai to draft and implement the Uniform Civil Code, which was a big part of BJP's Sankalp Patra for the state. Now, the state, in fact, plans to table the legislation during the upcoming August Assembly session while exempting the indigenous communities from its implementation. So, the first step to implement a UCC across the state of West Bengal has now been taken with the formation of this 9-member committee.
ये हमारी सुप्रीम कोर्ट का रिटायर्ड जस्टिस रंजना देसाई का कमेटी हो गया है. कमेटी काम शुरू करेगा, आज तुरंत आ जाएगा. दूसरा प्रदेश में यूसीसी लागू हो गया है. ये एक ही देश है, एक ही कानून रहेगा, 2 कानून नहीं रहेगा. मान के चलिए, क्लियर, क्रिस्टल क्लियर है.
All right. In fact, my colleague Arnab now joins me with more details on this. Arnab, take us through the latest that we're fetching on the big step taken to implement a UCC in the state of West Bengal.
देखिए, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड पश्चिम बंगाल में मंडे से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो रहा है. मंडे से काम होगा. यूनिवर्सल जो कमेटी गठन किया गया है उसका मंडे से काम होगा. जो 9 मेंबर को रखा गया है इस कमेटी में, पहला जो मेंबर है जस्टिस रंजना प्रकाश देसाई, चेयरपर्सन बनाया गया इसको. तथागत रॉय, फॉर्मर गवर्नर मेघालय, इसको भी इस कमेटी में रखा गया है. जसवंत नारियल, IS रेसिडेंट कमिश्नर मेंबर, इनको भी इस कमेटी में रखा गया हुआ है. इस कमेटी में है रत्ना भट्टाचार्य, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर और हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट बंगोवासी कॉलेज. 9 मेंबर्स को इसमें रखा गया है. ये 9 मेंबर्स मंडे को मीटिंग करेंगे, फिर मंडे से उन लोग काम करना शुरू करेंगे. पश्चिम बंगाल में यूसीसी चालू होगा, इसका कॉन्फर्मेशन पश्चिम बंगाल का चीफ मिनिस्टर ने दिया था, मगर इसको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का करने से पहले एक तो कमेटी गठन करना पड़ेगा। इस कमेटी का जो रिपोर्ट होगा उसी के आधार पे पश्चिम बंगाल में इसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन मिलेगा। तो ये कमेटी काम करेगा मंडे से, ऐसी जानकारी मिल रहा है। 9 मेंबर्स को इस कमेटी में रखा गया है, जिसमें जस्टिस भी है, प्रोफेसर भी है और लॉयर भी इसको में रखा गया है।
All right, thanks Arnab for joining us and getting us the latest on this. In fact, we have a statement coming in from Chief Minister Suvendu Adhikari as well, who clearly states there cannot be two laws in the country. Let's take a listen.
ये हमारी सुप्रीम कोर्ट का रिटायर्ड जस्टिस रंजना देसाई का कमेटी हो गया है। कमेटी काम शुरू करेगा, आज तुरंत आ जाएगा। दूसरा प्रदेश में यूसीसी लागू हो गया है। ये एक ही देश है, एक ही कानून रहेगा, दो कानून नहीं रहेगा। मान के चलिए, क्लियर, क्रिस्टल क्लियर है।
Now shifting focus, OpenAI versus Apple now seems to be escalating. OpenAI has now responded to Apple's lawsuit saying that we have no interest in other companies' trade secrets. We remain focused on building innovative technology that empowers people. So the two tech giants are currently in tussle over the trade secrets, and now we have a statement coming in from OpenAI clearly stating that they have no interest in other companies' trade secrets. They firmly say that they remain focused on building innovative technology that empowers everywhere, that empowers people everywhere. So that's the statement coming in from OpenAI as the escalation continues to take place between the two tech giants, Apple versus OpenAI. All right, in fact, my colleague Nitin also joins us from Digital Newsroom. Nitin, take us through the latest escalation that's now being witnessed between OpenAI and Apple. We understand a statement has also come in from OpenAI where they clearly states that they have no interest in other companies' trade secrets.
So, OpenAI has responded to Apple's latest federal lawsuit. And the fact of the matter stands that the OpenAI spokesperson, Mr. Drew Pusteri, has noted the company has no interest in other companies' trade secrets, especially when it comes to Apple, is what the OpenAI's rebuttal stands as of now, as of today, after Apple filed a federal lawsuit not only against OpenAI, but a couple of employees, 2 employees who are now working at OpenAI, earlier were employees for Apple for a very considerable period of time, approximately 7 to 8 years. And what he's again noted as part of a clarification on the ongoing legal trouble when it comes to Apple and OpenAI is the fact that OpenAI is focused on building innovative technology that empowers people everywhere, is what he's mentioned.
Right. All right, Nitin, thanks so much for joining us and getting us the latest on this. And now we are shifting focus to what is happening in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In fact, tensions now are escalating on ground as Pakistani forces have unleashed heavy gunfire and shelling on civilians in Arja Cross in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, targeting several areas linked to Public Action Committee and causing widespread destruction of homes as well. Now, continuous firing and artillery strikes are being reported across Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, with over 60 lives being lost in the last 1 month. Now, in a dramatic show of defense, large crowds of women, children and youth have now taken to streets of Arja, even as security forces continue their relentless shelling, turning the entire area into a zone of chaos and escalating tensions. In fact, we'll try and show you visuals as well, the exclusive visuals that we've gathered from a POK exposing our Sinhalese army, who continues to use a brute force against these unarmed civilians and protesters. Now, we're looking at huge deployment. In fact, let's take a look at the visuals.
Sadece mesaj bura. वार्डरूम ना नहीं मिले
All right, here's now shifting focus to other breaking news that we're covering at this hour. Now, the Union Ministry of Home Affairs has said that there should be strict adherence to correct script and text and diction, as well as the pronunciation while playing or singing the national song and the national anthem. So, new guidelines, in fact, have been issued by MHA regarding the national song and national anthem. In a fresh order to all central government and governor offices, the ministry now reiterates the rules related to playing and singing of the national song and the national anthem. The MHA, in fact, clearly states in its orders that contain an exhaustive list of occasions on which the national song and the national anthem of India shall be played or sung, and the occasions on which they may be sung or played. So new guidelines have now been released by MHA regarding the playing and the singing of the national anthem as well as the national song, the occasions that they can be played at, and also the locations as well. These are new guidelines that have now been issued by MHA regarding the national song as well as national anthem. All right, viewers, that's a wrap on this edition of Live and Breaking with me, Ishita Mitra. But don't go anywhere. Coming up after a very short commercial break, getting you all the details of Prime Minister Modi's diaspora outreach in Auckland, where he highlights the stronger people-to-people connect between India and New Zealand. Getting you all the updates on the other side.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Coming up after a short break, a 9-member committee formed to examine the draft UCC bill in West Bengal. The state now plans to table the bill during the upcoming August Assembly session. Getting you all the details on that on the other side. Stay tuned.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े, चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has. But I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No. It was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night, marking the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in 40 years. It is a great pleasure to honour to host you here today. It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night, marking the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in 40 years. This visit is also a significant milestone in the New Zealand-India relationship. When I visited last year, you welcomed me and my delegation with great warmth and tremendous generosity, and I'm therefore delighted to welcome you here. Thank you for the relationship and thank you for what you've put into it personally. I think we've made tremendous progress in a very...
All right, welcome viewers. We're getting some breaking news at this hour. In a tragic accident, a boat carrying several Indians on board has now capsized near Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. The incident, in fact, happened a few hours ago. And the exact details of the incident are still being ascertained, viewers. As we speak, search and rescue operations are currently being handled by local officials. And in fact, a control room has also been set up at the Consulate General of India in Ho Chi Minh City to assist with those, in fact, who are feared sinking at the moment. Now, we understand this boat was carrying over 32 Indians and 4 have been rescued as part of the rescue operations. The incident occurred near Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. This took place a few hours ago when the boat capsized. At the present, viewers, we understand a control room has now been set up in Hanoi, and the help, in fact, is reaching the stranded Indians at the moment. Out of 32 Indians, about 4 have been rescued at the moment, and those are the visuals we're getting of the live rescue operations. In fact, on your screen, viewers, this comes in as a boat carrying over 32 Indians capsized near Vietnam's Phu Quoc Island a few hours back. And as we speak, viewers, we're getting you all the live updates about the rescue operations. At the moment, a control room has now been set up to assist stranded Indians, and at the moment, about 4 have been rescued while the rescue operations are still on at the site. Local officials, in fact, are currently involved in the rescue operations. Meanwhile, the Indian Consulate General has also set up a help room to assist the stranded Indians, and these are the exclusive visuals we're getting, in fact, of the entire rescue op, which is still underway at this site. Now, for those of you just joining us, a boat, in fact, carrying over 32 Indians capsized a while back near Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. And right now, we understand 4 Indians have been rescued while the rescue operation is still continuing. And there were about 32 Indians on that boat. A control room has also been set up to assist the stranded Indians, and those are the visuals we're getting of this boat tragedy that took place near Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. This happened a few hours back, viewers, and we're getting live updates of the rescue operations as we speak. In fact, my colleague Chandrakala also joins with more details. Chandrakala, what do we know the latest about the rescue operation? How many Indians have been rescued so far? Well, details are still awaited. Of course, it's a shocking incident that has unfolded in Vietnam because we know that a lot of Indian sailors are working in the Vietnam water, and the fact that this tragic incident is coming right at this moment, we have our visuals on screen. A boat carrying several Indian tourists has capsized near Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam just a few hours ago. In fact, what we are learning is that currently a control room has been set up to assist the family members, the families affected, and of course exact details of the incident are still awaited as far as this incident is concerned. And of course, as you have asked, how many Indians? Well, the numbers are not very clear, but yes, we are trying to learn. We are learning that 4 of them has been rescued. Well, we'll have to wait and watch as this incident proceeds. Of course, to provide information and assistance to affected families, control room at the Consulate General of India in Ho Chi Minh City has been set up, and few contact details has been mentioned here for the family members to get help and assistance at this time of at this hour. Of course, a control room has been established in Hanoi, and of course a phone number, a preferred phone number has been provided here. 3 contact numbers has been provided, as you can see. If you can mention those phone numbers in our screen, because that would help the family members who's being affected. But yes, more details are awaited because it's a very tragic incident.
I'll come back to you, but right now let's tell our viewers who are just joining us what exactly is unfolding right now. It's a Phu Quoc Island near Vietnam. This is where a boat capsized a few hours back. It was carrying about 32 Indian, and now we understand, as per the rescue operations, about 4 have been rescued, and while the search for the 28 others is still on currently. It's the local officials who are involved in the rescue operation at the moment. And Chandrakala, what do we know about the condition of those have been rescued?
Well, before I come across to you, Chandrakala, I just wanted to give a few updates because it appears to be this was first of all, Phu Quoc is a very, very popular tourist destination, and just to give you an idea about this particular place, Phu Quoc is frequented mostly by Indians. So we had from the videos that are emerging, seen that many people, many Indians or in people of Indian origin are lying on the ground, many of them in an unconscious state, many of them being given CPR. You can show those videos, very disturbing videos coming in from the Phu Quoc Island. These are initial videos. We can keep changing the videos. These were videos of the rescue operations, but there was a disturbing video that came in a few minutes back of many of them lying on the floor, at least 10 to 15 of them lying. We don't know whether they are alive or they have died, but what we can tell you is that the Indian mission, let's change the visuals please. Secondly, the Indian embassy has established a control room in Hanoi to try and help everyone whose family members are either there in Phu Quoc or are missing. And the Indian embassy in Hanoi has confirmed that this boat was carrying at least 32 Indians. This is a video from the spot. At least 32 Indians were on board this boat that capsized. This is in Phu Quoc Island. Once again, Phu Quoc is a very popular tourist destination where many Indians go there. Many Indians who travel to Vietnam go to Phu Quoc. Exact details of why the boat capsized is unavailable. What I can tell you is that the search and rescue operations are on. This happened a few minutes ago, and we're also hearing that there is a control room at the Consulate General of India at the Ho Chi Minh City. At the Ho Chi Minh City, there is a control room that has been set up. And in the control room, there are some helpline numbers. We'll put the helpline numbers as well. On the channel right now, we can put out the helpline numbers. So, our desk teams can just put out the helpline numbers. It's +84 in case you're seeing it. +84 36281 36281 7930 or +84 91 552 3714 +84 33 452 0414. A control room has been established in Hanoi and can be reached at +84 91 308 9165. So these are the helpline numbers. We will also put out the numbers on your screen right now. We will have the numbers at the bottom of the screen, giving you the numbers which you can reach out to right now if you have a loved one or someone you know stuck or missing in Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. You can reach out to these numbers. There's a helpline. There's also a helpline set up. in Hanoi. Now, these are details coming in. Now, what went wrong? We don't know. We are waiting for more details to come in. But I can confirm to you that as of this minute, at least 4 Indians were taken to a hospital. They were rescued. And there are pictures coming in of the boat that capsized. It appears to be a case of high tide. We don't know, at least the pictures indicating that the weather may have adversely changed, leading to this tragedy in the first place. But ladies and gentlemen, we can confirm to you that this is the moment of the capsize. We are hearing that this was the moment of the capsize. And this seems to be a tourist boat that was carrying people from one island to the other. And as of this minute, we're getting in more details right now. Phu Quoc Island, and many of them appear to be, at least from initial details, there is somebody, there are people who are asking for help, and they are speaking in Telugu. I can tell you that looking at the video, some people are speaking in Telugu, and some of the videos also tagging Nara Lokesh, the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, to try and help. They are speaking in Telugu. This is the Oisen Per Island. Oisen Per Island in Vietnam. And there is a message. In fact, one person has said that there were 30 members from Andhra and Telangana. There is an Indian number mentioned as well. Indian number mentioned, so we'll just reach out to that number. 30 members from Andhra and Telangana are there. And there, it appears like a large group, primarily from Andhra and Telangana, and it appears like they were the worst affected. In the video that they've put out, they've appealed to Nara Lokesh, the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, asking for help in Phu Quoc Island. This is in Vietnam. In fact, the person who's tweeted will try and reach out to him. He says from Andhra and Telangana, at least 30 members are there. So we will try and see if we can get more reportings. We will try and get somebody on the ground in Vietnam in just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But Indians on board the boat that capsized in Vietnam, we should be able to get more details. We'll get Ishita back in the newsroom right now so that we can take the story forward. But we can tell you that this boat capsized due to adverse weather. Chandrakala has more details, I think. Let me go across to her. Chandrakala is joining us with some more details. Chandrakala.
Yes, absolutely. As you have already mentioned, that mostly people from Andhra and were here during this incident has taken place. In fact, and the point that it's a tourist hub, it's a tourist hotspot, and every year we could see like a lot of Indians traveling Vietnam to such islands. And of course, now that this boat has capsized, it is a concern for India, for Vietnam, because we know as far as our defense cooperation is concerned and cooperation in terms of Navy is concerned, it's a big deal, because 32 Indians were in this particular boat when it capsized, and of course 4 has been rescued. More information are awaited as far as this incident is concerned. Now that the helpline numbers have been provided by the concerned authorities in Ho Chi Minh City, of course now what we are learning is that the family members should be reaching out immediately, given the fact that such incident has happened. More information is awaited, and more reaction is awaited as far as this incident is happening, because this is not such first incident happening wherein Indian boat has capsized. Such incident has occurred previously also. So yes, it's a matter of concern, and we'll have to wait and watch what was the reason behind this particular incident, given the fact that my colleague Niranjan has mentioned that weather could be one reason. But yes, more details are awaited, and more information will update more on this, because as this incident, we can see the visuals, very heart-wrenching visuals coming on screen, wherein people are seeking for help. Lots of tourists visit this place every year, and such incident is very, very extremely painful to watch are Indians, losing life for no matter they were there to enjoy their holiday. And this Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam is very famous, in fact. So yes, we'll wait and watch. We'll have to wait for more information. For more details are awaited as far as the Indian mission in Vietnam is concerned. Over to you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the latest input that we have, and very, very disturbing visuals right now. What you see right now is those who are either rescued or brought to the shore following the capsize of the boat, and all of them are Indians. And if you take the audio in this particular video, if you lift up the audio a little bit, just for the understanding of our viewers, they appear to be speaking in Telugu. They appear to be speaking. We will translate the video because they're speaking in Telugu. They're trying to send out a message, and they also are appealing to the government here in India, to Nara Lokesh, and they appear to be a large group from Andhra and Telangana primarily. And as we speak, we are trying to get more details. The Indian embassy in Vietnam, in Hanoi, has shared some details, and they have confirmed that yes, this was a boat carrying several Indian tourists, and this capsized near the Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam, and details of the incident still being ascertained, and we are still trying to get more details. I'm handing it to you, Ishita. As I hand it to you, we'll gather more details and come back.
Right. All right, that was my colleague Niranjan getting us all the details on what exactly the rescue operations are currently underway, as this boat carrying about 32 Indians capsized near Phu Quoc Island. This, in fact, is a very popular island. A lot of Indian tourists visit this island. And now we're looking at a very tragic incident that has unfolded on this very island. A boat carrying over 32 Indians capsized near it. And those are the visuals we're getting, viewers, of the rescue operations, which is still underway at the moment as we speak. Now, in terms of numbers, we understand about 4 individuals have been rescued, 4 Indians. And those are the visuals we're getting of medical assistance being given to them, in fact, at the moment. Now, what exactly triggered the capsizing of this boat is still not known, and about the 28 others missing Indians, the information, in fact, has still not come out, as the rescue operations, as we speak, are still underway. It's a very, very tragic incident, viewers, that has taken place off the coast of Vietnam. It's a Phu Quoc Island, and this is where, in fact, the rescue ops are still underway. My colleague Chandrakala, who's been very closely tracking this now, joins me. Chandrakala, what do we know about the 28 others are missing, and in fact, the conditions of Indians? 4 Indians have now been rescued.
Yes, well, what we are learning is that, of course, there is no official confirmation yet to the number of Indians who are still stranded and who have been rescued. But yes, what we are learning that around 32 people must be on board that particular that boat which has been capsized, Of course, it's a very, very tragic incident because these Indians were there to enjoy their holiday. Of course, it's a famous island in Vietnam wherein a lot of Indian tourists visit every year, and this is coming at a very, very, it's a very tragic incident taking place. An Indian boat has capsized, and of course Indian tourists are here, and and of course the fact that not only Indian tourists, there must be some other people from other origin as well, but the fact that 32 people from India were in that boat and 4 has been rescued, the number might increase. The point that helpline numbers and control room has been set up to help the family members who would be very much, would be concerned at this moment. And, we could see that 3 to 4 helpline numbers has been provided, and the fact that we will come up with more details as this. In
fact, Chandrakala, as we continue to track the rescue operations on site, the Republic is now getting some very, very unfortunate information. We understand that about 15 Indians have now been killed, in fact, in this accident as the boat capsized in Vietnam. Most of them are tourists who have traveled from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana to this Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam, and we're getting that casualties, in fact, have now risen to about 15. 15 is the number that reports are suggesting. At the moment, we understand that about 15 people have lost their lives in this tragic incident as the boat capsized in Vietnam off of Phu Quoc Island. Now 15 in fact is the number that reports are suggesting out of the 32 people who were on board that boat that capsized near Phuoc Island in Vietnam. We understand that about 15 tourists have lost their lives. Most of them, in fact, are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana who travelled to Phuoc. And the latest number that we're fetching for our viewers, Chandrakala, is about 15. We understand that 15 people, in fact, have lost their lives. For those of you just joining us, we're covering at the moment the rescue operation, which is still underway as the boat carrying over 32 Indians capsized near Vietnam's Phuoc Island. And a very unfortunate news, in fact, coming to light at the moment, as we understand about 15 people have lost their lives in this accident, and most of them were tourists from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. They had travelled to Vietnam's Phuoc Island. And the casualties, in fact, the death toll number currently stands at about 15 is what we understand, while the rescue operations are still underway. The search for the missing is still underway at the moment as we speak. 4, we understand, have now been rescued, 4 Indians, while about 15 have lost their lives. So this is what we're fetching at the moment. Also, in fact, getting you all the details, live developments about the search and rescue operations, which are still underway. Now, those 4 Indians are, in fact, being given medical assistance at the moment, while about 15 have lost their lives. It's a very, very tragic news that's coming to light at the moment as the boat capsized, carrying about 32 Indians near Vietnam's Phuoc Island. 15 of those who were on board have lost their lives is what we're fetching at the moment, while the search and the rescue operations are still on for those who are still missing. In fact, the Consulate General of India has now set up a control room to help the stranded Indians, to help with those who are still missing. Helpline numbers have also been released that we're flashing on our screens for our viewers as well. And the number of viewers that we're getting at this hour is that about 15 Indians have unfortunately lost their lives in this very, very tragic accident that's coming to light. In fact, we understand that it was a speedboat which was carrying about 32 Indian tourists along with 4 crew members, and it capsized near Vietnam's Phuoc Island, killing about 15 people. Now, this is what we're getting from Vietnam media as well. So about confirmation, in fact, coming in, about 15 Indian tourists who have lost their lives in this incident. Now, we understand most of them were, in fact, from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. They had travelled to Vietnam, and in this very tragic news that's now coming to light, we understand that about 15 people have lost their lives. So, viewers, those are the visuals, in fact, we're getting. We understand 4 Indians have now been rescued. They are being given medical assistance, while about 15 others have lost their lives, and the search for the remaining is still currently underway. Local authorities, in fact, are involved in the search and rescue operations. Let's take a look at the visuals, in fact.
Cái gió này bị chặt mẹ có mấy cái tiền mẹ lắm đưa con vô cắt vài cái
They counting only how many dead bodies?
Here, what we told. Hey, Govind, help me.
All right, in fact, my colleague Shivam also joins us with more details on this. Shivam, what are we fetching about the rescue operations? So far, we understand that 15 casualties have already taken place. But what about other Indians who are still missing? What do we know about the rescue operation?
Yes, the rescue operations are on as we speak now. There were more than 32 people, 32 on board and 32 Indians on board in the boat that capsized. Now, 15 Indians have been killed. Now, that's the confirmation that we have received, but very horrific visuals and very unfortunate story that we are reporting right now. This boat has capsized in Vietnam, which had 32 Indians on board in Phu Quoc, Vietnam. This is exactly the moment the boat capsized. The visuals on your screen, as you can see, the water in the turbulent waters, the boat capsized with more than 15 casualties, which have been reported. Very unfortunate. 15 Indians have been killed, and the helpline numbers are also, we're also flashing the helpline numbers as released by the embassy. This is the control room set up in Hanoi, and the helpline numbers, you can call on these numbers to know about the well-being of your loved ones if they were traveling on this boat. This is the exact moment of the capsize. The boat capsized on the screens, and also the 15 Indians which were killed in this boat capsize incident. Now, many who were rescued, they were given CPR in the beginning, but many died. This is the numbers are increasing as we speak, because we hope the numbers don't increase, but there were 32 Indians on board on this boat, and 15 Indians have now been confirmed killed. We're trying to get more information, but this is a developing story. But we got to know the story that now 15 people are confirmed killed. 15 Indians are confirmed killed, because maximum of those who were on board on the ship.
In fact, Shivam, hold on to that thought. We're also understanding at the moment that 1 out of the 3 boats, in fact, capsized, in which about 15 Indians have now been killed. These were the Indians who had travelled from the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and right now we're getting fresh visuals of the rescue operations which are still underway at the moment, viewers. So there were essentially 3 boats carrying Indian tourists, out of which 1 capsized, killing about 15 people. Search and rescue operations, viewers, are still on. There were about 32 people, 4 have been rescued, while the search for those who are still missing is underway at the moment. In fact, my colleague Chandrakala also joins us with more details on this. Chandrakala, what are we fetching the information about the rescue operations? We understand that about 15 people have lost their lives, unfortunately, while the others still remain missing.
Yes, yes, of course, what the latest development is, the latest information that is coming in, of course, that 15 people have lost their lives. Well, the number might increase, because there is no such official confirmation yet by the Indian mission. But yes, the number stands, 15 Indians have lost their life. There were a total of 32 Indians in that particular boat that capsized just a few hours back. A very, very shocking incident that has unfolded in Vietnam, in an island, in the largest island, that's Phu Quoc Island, being visited by tourists every year, and Indian tourists visit that place every year. And now that this incident is happening, where we can see some heart-wrenching visuals coming in from Vietnam. And we have seen that the Indian mission in Hanoi has efforts are underway. Rescue operation is still underway, and 4 of them were rescued. But we don't know if they are still alive or they are still dead. Now the point of the matter is we are still awaiting a reply, and of course will also a response from New Delhi is also is awaited as far as the safety of these individuals are concerned. Now the families have reached out. There are help numbers being given out by the Indian mission in Ho Chi Minh. Of course, the Indian mission in Vietnam is concerned. They have provided few help numbers. I would request that those helping numbers should be flashed on our screen, so that those family members can reach out, and they could at least trace their family members who must be in this particular boat while this boat capsized. So yes, a very, very shocking incident. And this will be taken up by both the Indian and the Vietnam authorities as far as the Indians who have lost their lives, and of course Indians who are now stranded there. Well, the number is we are still awaiting the exact number and the exact reason behind this incident, why this boat capsized. And of course, this is not such what we are learning is that more and more Indians visit this place, and these Indians who were in the boat when this incident happened, they are mostly from the south of India, mostly from Telangana, what we are learning, and more information is awaited as far as this a very, very shocking incident is concerned in Vietnam. Now India and Vietnam will be taking up this particular responsibility of letting their family members know, and how many Indians have actually lost their lives and how many Indians are still stranded, and how they will be repatriated at this moment will be taken up shortly. Back to you.
All right, of course, Chandrakala, it's still developing a story. We are still getting some more information, and even as of now, the numbers have not been ascertained, but we understand that the latest that we're fetching at the moment is about 15 casualties, unfortunately, have taken place in this incident. And with that, in fact, viewers, we're slipping into a very short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll get you all the details about the rescue operation, which is still underway near Vietnam's Phu Quoc Island, as a boat capsized, carrying over 32 Indians, killing about 15. So right now, in fact, is slipping into a very short break.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा से। MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा से। MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला। चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े, चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater, or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has, but I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No, it was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
Largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very warm welcome viewers to the latest edition of Republic Defense, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you in this edition of the show to bring you from India's masterstroke in Malacca to how the Pahalgam mastermind will be brought to the book. And now we also bring you the latest that has come in from Visakhapatnam today, as the Defence Minister of India, Rajnath Singh, has commissioned INS Mahendragiri. All that and much more on this edition of Republic Defense. All right, So in a mega boost to India's stealth firepower, India's 6th Nilgiri stealth class frigate, INS Mahendragiri, was commissioned today, equipped with the BrahMos missiles. Over 75% indigenously built, INS Mahendragiri has been commissioned in the Bay of Bengal today, guarding the eastern coast of India. The warship will undertake full spectrum of the maritime operations and can counter air, surface and the submarine threats. So let's understand more through graphics, viewers, and then we show you what the Raksha Mantri has said today. So viewers, INS Mahendragiri is, as we told you, 6th Nilgiri class stealth frigate. Very, very important for Project 17A of India. Over 75% indigenously built. So boost for Atmanirbharta, boost for Make in India. And the radar evading stealth architecture is what it boasts of. So yes, that's why it's the stealth frigate. It's equipped with the BrahMos missiles. And in fact, everybody knows about the superpower, the impact of the BrahMos. It's armed with the torpedo tubes and rocket launchers. And very important for a stealth frigate, it features the ICMS and the advanced tracking sonar as well. So it's the unseen warrior in the seas. Its operational facility, it has the operational facilities for helicopters. That's why it can counter threats on all fronts, even surface or air. So viewers, this is INS Mahendragiri, and it was commissioned today by none other than the Raksha Mantri of the country, Rajnath Singh. Listen to what he said.
नई टेक्नोलॉजी ने युद्ध का स्वरूप अवश्य बदल दिया है, किंतु उनको कन्वेंशनल वारफेयर के मीन्स का महत्व कम नहीं किया है। युद्ध के जो मूल सिद्धांत हैं, उनकी पूर्ति के लिए जो स्ट्रांग कन्वेंशनल कैपेबिलिटी आज भी उतनी ही आवश्यक है जितनी पहले थी। फ्यूचर वार्स मे बी फॉट विद आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बट दे विल स्टिल बी वन by national resolve, trained soldiers and the capable military power.
All right, viewers, now shifting focus to the focus of the country on Indo-Pacific. America can say anything it wants, but India is redefining the Indo-Pacific ties. Over the years, viewers, we have one threat, that is China. It has visibly attempted to surround India. We're talking about the string of pearls. It has done so by taking over the port developments and establishing maritime bases in Pacific Ocean, in the South China Sea, and even the Indian Ocean. Like we saw the Hambantota port, we talk about Sri Lanka, we talk about what it's doing in Bangladesh. Now, in Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to Indonesia, India inked two crucial deals. One, to sell BrahMos and Astra missiles to Indonesia, and second, very importantly, to develop Indonesia's Sabang port. And this is the Indian recipe to checkmate China. Now let's first understand what has China been doing through what is being called the string of pearls, viewers. Let's just take a look at how we understand this string of pearls via graphics, viewers. So first of all, we're going to show you via map. You can see this is India, and this is the entire the seas, the ocean that China is trying to expand its footprint. So from Myanmar's port here to Bangladesh, Chatgam, that is Chittagong, and the Mongla port. There's the latest deal that has happened, viewers, between Bangladesh and China. Sri Lanka, Hambantota port, and a very old story there. And also Laos, these are the areas, and this entire Maldives, viewers. Maldives also where China has exercised its influence right up to Pakistan. The CPEC, that is the BRI, that is the flagship project of the Chinese, and the Gwadar port. So, and also not to forget Djibouti in Africa. China has built its military bases there. So you see this entire, viewers, string. It's called the string of pearls, and that's how China has attempted to encircle India. The entire peninsula, you see that China has expanded its influence. But how is India countering that? That is the big question. The latest example is, viewers, how Prime Minister has been on the three-nation tour. India is also trying to engage with Myanmar, and obviously we talk about the Sabang port. The Sabang port, viewers, this is India's counter necklace of diamonds. How India is trying to, in fact, redefine its ties with Japan. We saw the bonhomie between the two leaders, also Sanai Takaichi also, and the Prime Minister. You have the Tri-Services Command here at the Andamans. Not to forget the Great Nicobar project also that's in the works. In Indonesia, here is the Sabang port, and the Strait of Malacca is right here, viewers. Now the Malacca is very, very sensitive. In fact, it is known to be even more crucial for supplies, especially of Chinese goods, something more than Strait of Hormuz. We've seen how the blockage of Strait of Hormuz by Iran brought the entire supply for the world to stand still. So in times of war tomorrow, can China be also put in the back foot? Well, India is trying to do that. India is now trying to put out this master stroke via this Sabang port partnership. India is investing into it, is going to build this, and here it will in fact now have in a way try to rule it. It will exercise its control over the Strait of Malacca. That's very, very important. And if we talk about the others, Mauritius, Seychelles, India just had in fact another joint military exercise with Seychelles, Oman and Iran. India has of course a great investment in Chabahar port. So this is how India is countering the string of pearls with a necklace of diamonds. And the latest diamond, I would say, is the Sabang port, viewers. And not just that, viewers, talking about India's military partnership, BrahMos belt is also being formed. Historic defense pact has been locked with Indonesia. India has, in fact, Indonesia is the third Southeast Asian buyer of BrahMos after Vietnam and Philippines. And in fact, Indonesia's first customer of India's Astra Mk1 missile. It's roughly $200 million deal that has been locked by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. All right, so to understand more about this Malacca masterstroke, let's get into a conversation with Mr. Rajiv Bhatia, former Indian diplomat. Ambassador Bhatia, very, very honored to have you here on Republic Defense. And sir, we see how there's great significance to the three-nation tour of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the case in point is the Indonesia visit from BrahMos to Astra missiles. We also have the Sabang port deal, sir. Do you feel that all this is in a way strategically checkmating China in the seas?
Thank you very much for inviting me to your show. And thank you by starting off a question which is of great interest in public today. The basic rationale of this very well conceived trip of Prime Minister to three countries very much was to focus on the maritime dimension of India's relations with the countries in the East. And I think we should remember that July, therefore, has become the month of Indo-Pacific, especially if we remember that in this month itself, Prime Minister also received the Prime Minister of Japan as well. So now you have a situation where we are focusing on Indonesia. Indonesia is a country of great importance because of its geostrategic position. It is in a kind of a dominant situation in the Indian Ocean. It connects India and our part of the Indian Ocean to well beyond Indonesia to Australia. So to come to the central point of your question, whether the tour was with reference to China, I would be quite honest and say that the vision behind this tour goes beyond China, but certainly China also plays a role to shape it. I think, why do I say this? Very simple reason. India is fully aware, those informed people who follow these matters are fully aware of the basic connections, historic connections, civilizational connections between India and Indonesia, for many, many times in the past years, attempts have been made to strengthen this relationship. But I think I can say from my personal perspective, having served in Jakarta several decades back, that the kind of energy and enthusiasm and excitement the relevant people are feeling and experiencing today is fairly unique. So it is the larger perspective, but at the same time, I think the China factor, particularly the changing or transforming nature of China-US rivalry, where these two countries, instead of combating each other or competing with each other, they are now trying to become good friends. And in that situation, naturally, countries such as India, Japan, Indonesia, Australia, others have to increase their cooperation to counter this new situation.
Yes, sir. But, we were focusing on China because we've seen that we talk about the string of pearls time and again. Now, India also is trying to counter that. So you feel that this is important in view of what has been happening with China also now trying to make proposing or planning a corridor in the east, a CPEC-style corridor that is going through Bangladesh and Myanmar as well, sir?
Well, China is a country which understands the language of strength.
Yes.
If you are strong, China respects you. If you are weak, China handles you in a different manner. This is the 101 in terms of China. But at the same time, for us, the media and the strategic community in India, we should be a little careful when we are talking about China.
Okay.
China is a country with which government is running a very well-calibrated policy.
Okay.
The whole idea is that we maintain good, cordial relations with China.
Right.
And we create a situation in which the hostility or the adversarial nature of the relationship gets diminished or minimized. Effectively, India's policy is to manage China wisely. And
absolutely,
if we put the two things together, we are showing our strength. You rightly said, these missiles pacts, they are of great importance. Saban project is of great importance. But most important thing is that there is a new political synergy between Delhi and Jakarta, which we must take note of.
Right. Absolutely. Rightly pointed out there. And many thanks for your reading of the situation, Ambassador Bhatia. Thank you so much for joining us on Republic Defense.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Now, for only the third time since its inception, the FATF, Financial Action Task Force, openly slammed a terror attack. And that was the cowardly Pahalgam terror attack in 2025. NIA recently filed an additional charge sheet in the Pahalgam terror attack, which named Lashkar-e-Taiba and its proxy TRF, as well as the terrorist Hafiz Saeed as the mastermind, who's the chief of both. And it's now put on judicial record by the NIA. So this supplementary charge sheet makes it clear that the attack was financed and executed by Pakistan-based organizations, strengthening its case against Pakistan. This is what India intends to use as evidence now in FATF, viewers. We'll tell you how, what could be the next step, why this naming of Hafiz Saeed is important for the NIA and for India, of course, to bring justice. Now, viewers, we talk about nailing Pakistan's role. We talk about how this can be used to build a case in the FATF. Now, India will be, of course, intending to push Pakistan back in the grey list because it was out in 2022. Somehow it escaped. Now, India will use the videos, India will use all that it has to prove that it was Pakistan's role, that it was these terrorists who are on Pakistan's soil who have in fact orchestrated this entire attack. Pahalgam terror financed by Pakistan also. And remember, Republic TV has broken the story of how the digital hawala was also used so as to sponsor terror on Indian soil. India will also be presenting video proof and actionable data to build a case. So this is because FATF watch list has a grey list and a black list. It was on the grey list and Pakistan somehow escaped in 2022. And now this becomes a case in point to, in fact, India to advocate for bringing it back to the grey list. India has, in fact, named Hafiz Saeed as both the chief of Lashkar-e-Taiba and the TRF also, which is a proxy. proxy. Now, let us understand, viewers. There have been in the past where FATF former chiefs have also been have also condemned this attack. And viewers, let's understand now what really can be done from the strategic point of view, from the military point of view as well. We're being joined by defense expert Major Samar Pathur on the broadcast. Welcome to Republic Defense. It's a well-known fact that it was Lashkar-e-Taiba behind the Pahalgam terror attack. Now the chief has been charge-sheeted by the NIA. He has been named as the mastermind. What next do we expect from here that India can do about this?
Rakshita, you see, with the present developments that are taking place and the agitations which are at an all-time high, India is definitely going to use this as a leverage. We are going to go to the FATF. Basically, the IMF is going to be apprised with the brochure, with the evidence, and with the charge sheet that Hafiz Saeed was definitely involved in the Pahalgam attacks. And he's a wanted terrorist, a UN designated terrorist. And, you know, the financial assets needs to be frozen for Pakistan. There needs to be more restrictions put, there needs to be more checks and balances as to what are they doing with their money. And you see, it has become more complex because now Pakistan is officially, involved into cryptocurrency on behalf of the Americans.
Yes.
So even if they are not going to get a bailout package from the IMF, this certain cryptocurrency infrastructure and the business that they've started, on the behest of the Americans is what is going to actually get them out from the debt, and that is where they're going to make the money. So it is entirely up to the FATF fraternity, their teams, how they're going to uncover the financial frauds and how they've been diverting their funds, bypassing the IMF, to carry out these fundings. Even the Markazas after Op Sindoor have been perished. They've been destroyed. However, again, money is coming. Again, they've started the reconstruction work, the relocation work of these Markazas. So where is the money again coming from is the big question.
Sir, also the fact that the Vice President is Mr. Vivek Agarwal, who's from India, of the FATF. You feel that can also play a major role, number one. And number two, sir, what other ways can be, in fact, pushed so that Pakistan can be brought back to the FATF's grey list, sir?
I certainly feel that all the evidences and brochures of all the terror attacks should again be compiled together. And, they should be put in front of the FATF. Because until and unless that is not done, it is not going to have much of an impact. So FATF is definitely the jugular vein for the Pakistan economy. And it is what is keeping Pakistan afloat at the moment.
Also, another question, sir, as an Indian, one would want that that Hafiz Saeed should be, treated and should be brought to justice. Now, we've seen examples of Osama bin Laden. We've seen examples, many such examples, what the United States has done. But can India take any action, any such action, now that it's of course a charge sheet? The legal system will also work accordingly. But you feel in the future, any sort of other action that can be taken by India?
I certainly feel that what the Indian armed forces and the agencies can do is, carry out these digital investigations, these digital attacks and digital freezing of their funds, and we need to look into the proper, connection of the dots. And all this is happening only with the approval from the top.
Right.
So had they not had the approval from the top, these instances wouldn't have happened at all.
Yes.
So this is one of the major reasons that we are investigating that, the FATF has failed in the crackdown on the terror financing. Let us be very clear about it. It is still happening. Okay. And especially Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, their leaders have been roaming freely. We've seen it at Shoaib Akhtar's brother's funeral. We've seen it with the Shahid Afridi backing them up. We've seen it at the funeral during Op Sindoor, that they were, shoulder to shoulder with the Pak military. So you see, Pakistan's commitment is in serious doubt. That the way they welcome Mr. Banga, the way they, were trying to convince him for a bailout package. But you see, this is an ecosystem which is very, very diluted, which is corrupt and fragile. Now, why do I say corrupt? It is the Americans who promised to get Pakistan the bailout package only on one condition, that they provide the ammunition that Ukraine requires in terms of small, medium and large categories.
Absolutely.
Right from mortar shells to artillery shells to small arms and their ammunitions has been, being provided by the Pakistanis on the behest that they will be given an IMF bailout, and they did receive the IMF bailout.
And it's the same US which calls Iran danger to the world and conducts strikes. It's the same America who calls the terror states Asim Munir favorite field marshal. I talk of double standards really, but thank you so much. You put it rightly there. Major Sarapal Tour on our defense. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as we come to the end of this edition of Republic Defense, we'll show you how the Chief of Army Staff, General Dheeraj Seth, visited the Northern Command. General Seth reviewed frontline preparedness on the LOC and visited the headquarters of the Chinar Corps, White Knight Corps and the Kashmir formations. The visit held both strategic and symbolic significance. General Seth reviewed the security situation and operational readiness, while also sending a direct message across the LOC that India is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Jai Hind.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night, marking the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in 40 years. It is a great pleasure to honour to host you here today. It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night, marking the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in 40 years. This visit is also a significant milestone in the New Zealand-India relationship. When I visited last year, you welcomed me and my delegation with great warmth and tremendous generosity, and I'm therefore delighted to welcome you here. Thank you for the relationship and thank you for what you've put into it personally. I think we've made tremendous progress in a very short period of time on the trade agenda, but today's focus is about more than just the FTA. It's about where we go to next in this relationship and how we broaden that out. And I know we have very proud to announce that we will be forming a strategic partnership which will give the relationship more framework and breadth for us to continue to expand as we go forward from here.
मेरे लिए खुशी की बात है कि 40 साल के बाद भारत के प्रधानमंत्री का न्यूजीलैंड आना हुआ है और आपने एक प्रकार से आपकी आर्थिक राजधानी में कार्यक्रम बना करके भारत और न्यूजीलैंड के संबंधों को एक नई ताकत देने का एक अवसर पैदा किया है।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा मसाला।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has. But I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No. It was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Boat carrying mostly Indian tourists capsizes in Vietnam. 21 people rescued. Deadly boat mishap in Vietnam. New Zealand Prime Minister in his address during Indian Diaspora Community event highlights Indian Prime Minister was
the first time in 40 years an Indian Prime Minister stands on New Zealand soil. 40 years. That is far too long between visits from family. Let me say, on behalf of 5 million New Zealanders, you are worth the wait.
Star welcome for the Prime Minister and New Zealand leader, says Prime Minister from India coming to visit the country after 40 years. It was worth the wait. Prime Minister Modi addresses Indian diaspora in Auckland, highlighting the strength of the people of the country and the connection that is growing stronger between India and New Zealand. Bilateral talks between Prime Minister Modi and his Kiwi counterpart. The exchange has several MOUs in trade and other sectors. $20 billion investment, top of agenda. Indian Navy inducts Mahendragiri, the 6th Project 17A indigenous stealth frigate, into its eastern fleet at Visakhapatnam. Very warm welcome. You are watching Republic TV and I'm Rakshita Mishra with you this Saturday afternoon. Viewers, tragic news has come in from Vietnam today as a boat capsized in Vietnam, and most of those who are part of that capsized boat were Indians from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Tragic accident casting a shadow over the holiday. Tourist boat carrying several Indians capsized near the Phu Quoc Island, killing 15, out of which mostly were Indian. Rescue teams have been rushed to the spot. Vietnamese authorities launching a massive search and rescue operation to locate those missing and assisting the survivors. The exact number of Indian tourists on board and the extent of casualties are being verified. In the videos, it can be seen that Indians were being given CPR. Anxious families awaiting updates. Focus remains on the ongoing rescue efforts and the fate of those still unaccounted for. My colleague Chandrakala is joining us live on the broadcast. From Chandrakala, what is the latest update are you update that you're picking up as far as the rescue operations in Vietnam are concerned?
The rescue operation is still underway in Vietnam. A very, very shocking incident has unfolded just a few hours back, wherein, a boat carrying 32 Indian tourists, including 4 crew members, capsized in Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam, the largest island in Vietnam, wherein a lot of Indian tourists visit every year. In fact, what we are learning is that, this particular boat, overturned at around 1 p.m. And immediately, in fact, what we are learning is that tourist boats rushed to assist after this, the boat capsized. What we are learning is that, as far as more details are concerned, 15 have already lost their lives, and more details are awaited. There is no such official confirmation coming in from the Indian mission in Vietnam, but yes, to assist the family members who must be so much anxious and concerned about their loved ones. A control room has been established right now in Ho Chi Minh City, wherein a few helpline numbers has been given. And what we are learning is that, in fact, as far as Vietnam's tourism is concerned, Phu Quoc Island, this is the largest island in Vietnam, receives 5.7 million tourists every year. And for 6 months this year, they have received 5.7 million tourists in the first 6 months this year. So yes, a very, very concerning incident, a very, very concerning situation, wherein, of course, what we are learning is that both India and Vietnam authorities would be taking up as far as more Indians who would be stranded right now, the number of which is still, not very clear. And what we are learning that 34, Indian tourists were there, and of course there were 4 crew members who were also in the boat, and 15 have already lost their life. 4 of them has been rescued, but not very sure about their condition. And more details are awaited as far as this incident is concerned. A very, very tragic incident has unfolded in Vietnam just a while ago, and more details are awaited. And 32 Indian tourists along with 4 crew members were present in this boat. And what we are learning is that mostly these Indian tourists belong from Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and very, very concerning situation. And New Delhi will be taking up with the authorities there in Vietnam, in the Indian mission in Vietnam. A detailed response is still awaited as far as how many Indians are still stranded and what steps would be undertaken to repatriate them as soon as possible. Over to you.
What are you picking up as far as the cause of this capsize is concerned? And weren't there enough safety measures is also another big question, Chandrakala. What are you picking up?
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, this is a safety concern. This is a safety issue as far as Indians are concerned. They're in Vietnam. Indian tourists visit Vietnam every year. And this particular incident has raised, eyeballs among all the in India, of course, as far as the safety is concerned. And as far as the incident behind the reason behind this particular incident is still to be ascertained. And there is no such official confirmation coming in from Indian mission in Vietnam. But yes, the latest statement, we have seen the latest statement, the exact details of the incident are being ascertained as search and rescue operation by local authorities still continues. In order to provide information and assistance to affected families, a control room at the Consulate General of India, Ho Chi Minh City, has been set up, which can be reached at. There are multiple helpline numbers being put out by the Indian mission in Vietnam. I would request to flash those detailed numbers, the contact details, the helpline numbers for the families affected, so that they can reach out and get in touch with the loved ones. Of course, it's very unfortunate because this is a time of vacation. Many people are on vacation. They must have visited this island. And
so let's go full frame. We're flashing those numbers for those who are trying to reach out. Chandrakala, just stay on with us. Let's just show those videos one by one, viewers. Let's go full frame with those visuals and show our viewers what really has happened. First of all, the moment of capsize, when that accident happened, viewers. These are horrific visuals that are emerging. You can see that's what's happening in the waters, in the blue waters there, and the moment of capsize. And and then what followed, the aftermath. We're going to show you all the visuals. This is a tragedy that has been caught on camera, viewers. You can see that from afar, from a fair bit of a distance, and there were other motorboats also around when this boat capsized, carrying mostly Indians. This is a tourist boat that we're talking about near the Phu Quoc island in Vietnam. And at least 15 tourists have been killed, and most of them are Indians. We are flashing that Hanoi control room helpline also, and we will keep coming back to you with more details on that. But this is the biggest story that we at Republic TV are tracking for you. Chandrakala continues to be with us. Chandrakala, any information on the number of total number of Indians who were there, and those who have passed away, those who could not be rescued, and how many of them are being assisted?
Of course, the latest information is suggesting that 32 Indian tourists along with 4 crew members were present, and 15 have already lost their lives. As the rescue operation is still underway, I think the numbers are going to increase as this operation is underway. And what we are learning is that 4 of them has been rescued, but the point is they have been shifted to the hospital. But there is no such information. There is no such confirmation yet as to their conditions is concerned, of course. And the point that I would like to mention here for our viewers to know is that the speedboat operated by Ocean Pearl Island Company was actually transporting the tourists, just 25 kilometers from Phu Quoc Airport when it capsized about 400 meters off Honmai Road, Naogi, throwing everyone on board into the sea. So yes, very, very concerning, development happening at this point of time. And as far as the exact number is concerned, we are still awaiting a reply from the Vietnamese authorities as well as from our Indian authorities to confirm as to how many Indians have actually lost their lives and how many Indians are still stranded who are now being assisted. What we are learning is that local authorities rushed to the site when this incident happened, and they were being provided with medical assistance. CPR has been given at that point of time. But yes, as far as the numbers is concerned, it's still not very sure as to how many of them has lost their lives, and how many. What we are learning that presently 15 of them has lost their lives, and more and more as the rescue operation continues, will be updating the number of Indians who have lost their lives and the number of Indians who are stranded there, who should be repatriated as soon as possible and given the right medical assistance.
All right, that is, viewers, the latest update that my colleague Chandrakala is getting for you, and we are also flashing that number, the control room that has been set up in Hanoi. Meanwhile, these are the visuals that are coming in, viewers, of course, disturbing visuals from the island, and you have those visuals, multiple visuals on your screens right now, many of them being revived, attempts to revive many of them, you can see many of them getting CPR also. Many of them have died due to this boat capsize. As you can see, most of them are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Many of them are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We are also getting reactions from the state also. All right, viewers, we will continue to get you more details on that. But right now, I thank my colleague Chandrakala for that update. And meanwhile, shifting our focus to Bengal, and that's one of the biggest stories also that we're tracking. Namaz prayers have been suspended at the 136-year-old Bangra mosque located inside the Kolkata airport premises from Saturday, following a decision to relocate the historic mosque outside the airport boundary due to security concerns. The mosque is situated near the second runway of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport, and according to airport sources, its location is approximately 165 meters from the runway and was creating safety concerns for aircraft movement, particularly during emergency landing situations. And following discussions between the state government and the central government, the state government is now led by the BJP. So is the central government. It's an NDA government. Decision has now been taken after years to shift the mosque in interest of aviation safety and passenger safety. Mamata Banerjee could not do this. Shubhendu Adhikari not even 6 months, has done this in a matter of few months. As part of the process, issuing new entry passes for access to the mosque has been stopped from Saturday. And the process of arranging an alternative location for the mosque outside the airport premises. We have my colleague Mohan joining us live on the broadcast right from outside the mosque. Tell us more details, Mohan, please, because this is something that hasn't happened all these years despite security concerns.
एकदम मैडम मैं बता दूं कि ठीक मैं जहाँ खड़ा हूँ ये बाईं ओर जो है ये काला जो गेट दिख रहा है यहाँ से इस रनवे एयरपोर्ट का जो दमदम विमानबंदर है दमदम एयरपोर्ट है उसका रनवे में यही जो जगह है यहाँ से एंट्री लेकर के इसके भीतर में 136 साल पुराना एक मॉस्क था जो जिसमें प्रतिदिन यहाँ के लोग जो स्थानीय लोग हैं वो अपना सिर्फ आधार कार्ड दिखाकर आराम से इसके अंदर चले जाते थे और नमाज अदा किया करते थे। 136 साल से वो जो है मॉस्क वहां पर था और इसको हटाने के लिए स्वाधीनता के बाद कोलकाता एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ने बार बार अपनी कोशिश की। इससे पहले जो वामफ्रंट गवर्नमेंट जब था तब भी एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ने बार बार चिट्ठी लिखा था कि एयरपोर्ट का जो एक्सटेंशन किया जाएगा रनवे का उसके लिए वहां पर भी जगह दी जाए और उस मॉस्क को कहीं और शिफ्ट किया जाए, लेकिन हिम्मत नहीं जुटा पाई वाम सरकार। उसके बाद फडणवीस सरकार 15 सालों में कई बार एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी कोलकाता एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी द्वारा उनको भी पत्र लिखा गया है, लेकिन वो भी अपना जो है हिम्मत नहीं जुटा पाए इसके अंदर से मॉस्क हटाने के लिए। लेकिन शुभेंदु अधिकारी के सरकार ने वो करके दिखाया जो आज तक किसी ने सोचा भी नहीं था। आज से जहां मैं खड़ा हूं पीछे में जो जगह है एयरपोर्ट का जो जगह है जहां से एंट्री हुआ करता था मस्जिद में जाने के लिए अब वहां उसे बंद कर दिया गया है और मॉस्क को कहीं और शिफ्ट करने के लिए प्रयास किया जा रहा है। और स्थानीय जो भी जो संख्या लगी संप्रदाय के लोग हैं जो माइनॉरिटी लोग हैं उन लोगों के साथ में बैठक की गई है। स्थानीय जो विधायक है सौरभ सिद्धार्थ उनके द्वारा यह तत्परता दिखाते हुए मुख्यमंत्री का आदेश पालन करते हुए यहाँ के स्थानीय जो कम्युनिटी है उन लोगों के साथ में बैठक की गई है और कहीं और शिफ्ट करने की योजना बनाई जा रही है। और जिस कारण एक और जहाँ इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट का जो दबाव है दूसरे ओर डोमेस्टिक फ्लाइट भी काफी संख्या में जो है अराइवल एवं डिपार्चर में आती रहती है कोलकाता एयरपोर्ट में। इसलिए बहुत इसकी अहमियता को देखते हुए जो सरकार जो है इसको जो रनवे है जो उसको संप्रसारण करना चाहती है उसको एक्सटेंशन करना चाहती है। और बता दूं जो सेकेंड रनवे है अर्थात एयरपोर्ट के अंदर जो सेकेंड रनवे है उससे महज 165 मीटर की दूरी पर ही जो है वो मॉस्क है जिसको हटाने के लिए बार बार करके जो है एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी से बताया जा रहा था मांग किया जा रहा था, लेकिन किसी सरकार ने हिम्मत नहीं दिखाई। लेकिन शुभेंदु अधिकारी सरकार ने 2 महीना भी नहीं हुआ और वह करके दिखा दिया। अर्थात यहाँ पे जो मॉस्क था उसे कोई और स्थापित किया जाएगा, वहां पे लोग अपना नमाज कर पाएंगे और भीतर में रनवे का विस्तार किया जाएगा। इस तरह से जो है सरकार की जो प्रक्रिया उसका जो पहल आज से शुरू हो गई है और इसे बंगाल के लोग बहुत ही अच्छे नजर से देखते हैं। कारण यहाँ पर जो है कोलकाता एयरपोर्ट पर एक और जहाँ इंटरनेशनल जो फ्लाइट से काफी संख्या में आती है और दूसरी तरफ जो डोमेस्टिक फ्लाइट है वह उसका भी गिनती बहुत है जो बहुत रश होती है इस एयरपोर्ट में। इसके लिए एयरपोर्ट का जो रनवे है उसका विस्तार बहुत ही आवश्यकता था, जरूरी था, जिस कारण में जो सरकार ने एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी को यह करने की अनुमति दी है।
बिल्कुल Banendra हमारे साथ we'll just show our viewers once again to help understand why is it of importance and where exactly it was. Just as Mohan was telling us, it is just 165 meters away from the tarmac at the Kolkata airport. That's the map we see, viewers, and the exact position you can see, at least what the map suggests to us, is that this is where the mosque is. You can see it's 165 meters away from the tarmac. And this is it's a centuries old mosque, 136-year-old Bakra mosque. It is also called as Goripur Jami Masjid. and this is near the secondary runway of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport. And none of the previous governments could do. The Trinamool Congress refused to listen to the authorities that this was a security threat, especially when there are emergency landing. So this is happening after the BJP takes over in Bengal. All these decades, this could not happen. मोहन, हमें आप बताएं कि जब भी पिछली सरकार थी, जब तृणमूल की सरकार थी, क्या वजह दी जाती थी, किस बुनियाद पे, किस बेसिस पर इसको हटाने से मना किया जाता था?
देखिए, एक जो पिछली सरकार थी, वो लोग बार बार आरोप लगता है कि वो तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति में विश्वास रखती थी। हर मुद्दे पर जहां भी इस तरह का होता है, मतलब ऐसा कोलकाता में देखा गया है कि दुर्गा पूजा के पंडालों में नमाज की जो घटना है वो नजर आई है, लेकिन इस तरह से तुष्टीकरण, इसे थीम बता करके, ये एक आपसी भाईचारा बता करके बार बार इसको जो है थोपा गया है। लेकिन जब नई सरकार कोलकाता में आया है, बंगाल में आया है, तब सरकार का किसी भी तरह का तुष्टीकरण में विश्वास नहीं रखती। जो सही है, सही को सही और गलत को गलत, यह सरकार बोलना जानती है। और इसीलिए जो है मजबूत इरादा और मजबूत सरकार रहे तो कुछ भी संभव है। आज जो सरकार द्वारा यह सिद्धांत लिया गया है, जो फैसला लिया गया है कि एयरपोर्ट के अंदर जो पिछले 136 साल से जो मस्जिद थी, जिसको हटाने के लिए वामफ्रंट टाइम में बार बार कोशिश किया गया था एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी द्वारा, पर सफलता नहीं मिली थी। उसके बाद तृणमूल कांग्रेस के 15 सालों में भी एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ने बार बार चिट्ठी डाली थी कि उसे संप्रासारण की जरूरत है, यानी कि जो रनवे उसका एक्सटेंशन की जरूरत है, लेकिन सरकार ने इसे किसी न किसी बहाने टालता रहा और आखिरकार मजबूत इरादा और मजबूत सरकार ने कर दिखाया। आज से जो ठीक मेरे पीछे जो काली गेट दिखाई दे रही है, जहां से नमाज पढ़ने के लिए अंदर जाते थे लोग, अब उसे बंद कर दिया गया है।
जी, that is the exact location, viewers, where Mohan is reporting from. We've in fact spoken to the authorities. Also, you can see that report that is being filed, and that's been also run there. It's all on camera, viewers. How Shubhendu Adhikari, the Chief Minister of Bengal, has done what Mamata Banerjee all these years could not, with back-to-back terms as the Chief Minister. Viewers, this was a security threat 165 meters away from the tarmac at the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, just near the second runway. This is going to be now removed. There will be another area allotted for namaz, but this was a problem. This was in way for emergency landings, which is now being removed, and this is one of the biggest threats to the airport. क्या कुछ अगर आप बताएं इसमें तकनीकी तौर पे, अगर हम एविएशन के लिहाज से मोहन बताएं, क्या कुछ इसमें सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट था, इसमें क्या इसको लेकर रिस्क थी जो आज शुभेंदु अधिकारी की जो सरकार है उसने इसका संज्ञान लेते हुए ये कदम उठाया है?
एकदम आपने सही बताया, बहुत बड़ी सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट थी। कारण यह है कि सिर्फ आधार कार्ड दिखाकर लोग यहाँ पर में नमाज पढ़ने के लिए इस गेट से, जो काली गेट दिखाई दे रही है, मैं कैमरामैन को बोलूंगा दिखाने के लिए, जो काली गेट है, यहाँ से आराम से सिर्फ आधार कार्ड दिखाकर उसमें प्रवेश कर जाते थे। वो आधार कार्ड कौन सा सही है, कौन सा गलत है, इसका जो वेरिफिकेशन वो भी सही तरीके से नहीं होता था।
बिल्कुल,
जो सरकार है उसने जो डिसाइड किया है कि
बिल्कुल
एक फर्जी आधार कार्ड,
बिल्कुल बहुत शुक्रिया। हमारे पास वक्त की कमी है, व्यूअर्स। दैट्स Republic TV's biggest story that we're tracking today, and we will be right back with the ground report from Kolkata Airport, as it's a big move by the Shubhendu Adhikari government.
रिंकू,
हाँ जी,
ये देख,
आगे तो चले।
सत श्री अकाल बीजी।
सत श्री अकाल पुत्र।
अब साफ दिखाई दे रहा है बीजी।
बहुत साफ दिखाई दे रहा है
बीजी। इतने टाइम बाद नए चश्मे बनवा ही लिए।
किसी अपने ने पैसे भेजे
और हर महीने पैसे भेजेंगे।
वाह,
बोना ते टू टू होगी थोड़े।
1 ਤਰੀਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਨੇ, ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਅਮੀਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ। ਮਾਵਾਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ।
मुख्यमंत्री माँ बेटी सत्कार योजना, आपका अपना भगवंत मान।
आगे 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 पावर से रहे, आगे आगे पोषण से। Dump in your roots, dump in your bones, rose be your अमूल दूध and go for gold। आगे आगे बढ़ती है दौड़ती है दुनिया, अमूल दूध पीती है दुनिया। Lights,
The all-new Jupiter is more than more. Style more, more. Storage too is even more. The all-new Jupiter is more than
introducing the all-new TVS Jupiter, India का नया
ज़्यादा,
एकुआ, अधिकम, बेशी,
जास्ता,
अधिका,
वधु, बेसी।
नीयत सच्ची हो तो पूरी कायनात आपके हक में खड़ी हो जाती है। टेला तक सिर्फ पानी ही नहीं पहुंचा, बल्कि काफी समय से बंजर पड़े किसान के जिगर के टुकड़ों को नहरी पानी ने निहाल कर दिया।
ਮਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਨਜਿੱਠਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ।
ਸਾਡੇ ਖੇਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਜੀ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਦੇ ਖੇਤ ਤੱਕ पानी बहुत ही वधिया तरीके नाल पहुंचा।
माजा, मालवा, दुआबा और पुआध के इलाके दुआएं दे रहे हैं।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has. But I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No. It was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
Mostly Indian tourists capsizes in Vietnam. 21 people have been rescued. 15 dead, most of them Indians from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. New Zealand Prime Minister, in his address to Indian diaspora, hosting the Prime Minister's visit after 40 years.
Time in 40 years, an Indian Prime Minister stands on New Zealand soil. 40 years. That is far too long between visits from family. Let me say, on behalf of 5 million New Zealanders, you are worth the wait.
PM Modi addresses Indian diaspora in Auckland, highlighting the strong people-to-people connect. Says an Indian Prime Minister in New Zealand after 40 years is worth the wait. PM Modi and New Zealand Prime Minister hold delegation-level bilateral talks, exchange several MOUs in key sectors. All right, we start with breaking news coming in right now. BJP to move court against Omar Abdullah's statement of 30 crore to NCMLA by BJP office bearer. Now, BJP State President Sat Sharma said that party's legal team to take route of court. BJP seeks proof from the Chief Minister of Jammu Kashmir, Omar Abdullah, daring him to take the name of the MLA who was offered 30 crore, and the BJP office bearer who made the offer public. BJP seeking unconditional public apology from Omar Abdullah, saying that he should either apologize or answer in court. Now, earlier in the day, viewers, Jammu Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah alleged that BJP offered 20 to 30 crore rupees to Jammu-based National Conference MLA. He made serious allegations, and now BJP is moving court against the Jammu Kashmir Chief Minister, National Conference leader Omar Abdullah. So viewers, BJP has sought an unconditional apology from Omar Abdullah, or said that he should be answering in court. My colleague Zeenat is joining us live on the broadcast from Srinagar. Zeenat, tell us more details please about this case. What did Omar Abdullah allege, and what's the BJP saying?
See, this is taken in another twist in this story when Omar Abdullah today, while addressing the gathering at the Hazrat Bal, said that the BJP is trying to split national conference, and BJP also approached one of its Jammu-based MLA asking that he needs to switch, and for which he will be paid 20 to 30 crore rupees along with the cabinet berth, and statehood will be restored. Omar taking a jibe at BJP that they cannot have the backdoor entry in Jammu and Kashmir. Now we are seeing the reaction coming in from the BJP leader Sat Sharma, who is asking Omar Abdullah to issue an unconditional apology, because this is not Omar has been is trying to drag this to another corner when nothing such kind of the kind of deal was there, or not the NCMLA was approached. In fact, Sach Sharma has said that either Omar issues an unconditional apology or they will be taking the legal route, and then Omar Abdullah has to answer, or the BJP is asking for the proof who has approached NCMLA in Jammu. They are asking Omar to name the person. So this is taking another route, another twist in the story, when on that one side we see Omar Abdullah going for the protest at Jantar Mantar on 20th of July. He is organizing the district rallies in Jammu tomorrow, and he has been very vocal about that the BJP is not allowing National Conference to work because the most of the orders or the things are coming from the Raj Bhavan when the elected government does not have power. Omar said they are waiting patiently. They don't want to take cudgels with the central government. They are waiting that let's resolve through talks. But it seems it's more than 1 year, and BJP has to look inwards why the National Conference is coming to Delhi at Jantar Mantar to launch protest, silent sit-in to ask Delhi to remember the promises. The Omar Abdullah also said that before the elections, their center has promised that things will be taken care. First, there should be a delimitation, then the election, and then the statehood. Even BJP also mentioned same thing in the Supreme Court. But now, when BJP comes to the Parliament, they say that things will come at an appropriate time. Now, Omar takes a dig at BJP, saying when that appropriate time will come, because Omar has an elected government in Jammu and Kashmir, so he tells BJP they too are not in a hurry when it comes to the panchayat or the local body elections, and that too will be done at an appropriate time. This is more like that the NC targeting BJP, and the BJP now retaliating and now asking Omar that who the person is that who is trying to split the party, who's the one who has approached your MLA with bribes. So are the allegations really true? Because will Omar react as the BJP has said that they will be taking a legal route?
All right. In fact, we'll just stay with us, Zeenat. We'll in fact pay this out, what Omar Abdullah had said. In fact, he had said that the BJP is trying to break his party, that the BJP is trying to topple his government by engineering a split in the National Conference. But Zeenat, we already see that there are splits happening. We have Ruhollah Khan also, who was speaking a while back, and we've seen the divide in the National Conference already. So why suddenly Omar Abdullah talking about BJP trying to engineer a split is one question that we are asking. If you could just shed some more light on what Omar Abdullah said before we play out the bite.
See, today while Omar was addressing people at Hazratbal, today was the 26th anniversary of Begum Abdul Jahan, the grandmother of Omar Abdullah and mother of Farooq Abdullah. He was addressing his supporters, and it was more like a massive show of strength coming from the National Conference to the opposition, that they are ready for their statehood protest. Because Omar in the rally also said that whatever the protests or the rallies will take place, there should be one slogan that restore statehood to Jammu and Kashmir, and people should not talk about any other issue. As far as the National Conference targeting BJP, it's about that National Conference. BJP is looking that National Conference should be splitted, for which BJP is making every effort. Meanwhile, the BJP yesterday, when I talked to Sunil Sharma, he says that NC is just taking the statehood issue only because they are not able to deliver on the ground, and that is also coming from the Apni Party chief Altaf Bukhari and the other leaders of the Jammu and Kashmir. Meanwhile, now he has openly said that they are trying to split the party, they are offering bribes, they are trying to do poaching in the National Conference, for which now the BJP says that they will be taking legal route unless and until Omar Abdullah issues unconditional apology. Will Omar Abdullah issue any apology? Will he name the person who had approached national conferences, or it is just another statement that has come from the national conference to gain attention of the audience? So lot of buzz in Jammu and Kashmir as far as this Jantar Mantar protest is concerned. You see the Aga Ruhullah's today's statement. Aga Ruhullah comes from national conference. He has worked with national conference for many decades now. He was also their MLA in Badgaon, but he was during the parliamentary election. He was chosen. People voted him for the parliament seat in Srinagar. But today he said that national conference did not invite him when it comes to Jantar Mantar protest.
Absolutely.
So another, we see the house divided within its own self when it comes to national conference and its leaders.
Absolutely, very much visible. Thank you so much, Zina, for joining us there with the details of Omar Abdullah's allegations, and now BJP saying that he should be facing them in court, otherwise apologize for the remarks that have been made, the claims that have been made. Now, we shift our focus to the Pakistan-occupied Jammu Kashmir. Now, Pakistani forces have unleashed heavy gunfire and shelling on civilians in Arja Cross in Pakistan-occupied Jammu Kashmir, targeting areas linked to the Public Action Committee, causing widespread destruction of homes. Yesterday saw the video where even the children were alleging that the terror is being unleashed by those in uniform, that is the Pakistani forces. Continuous firing, artillery strikes being reported in POJK, massacre in Arja. You can hear that. All right, so you can hear the gunshots, viewers. Even grenade are being used to target the civilians. Significant loss of life. Announcement of those who have died in these attacks are also being made. There's fear, there's panic across the region. But then, in a dramatic show of defiance, there are large crowds of women and children and youth who have taken to the streets of Arja, even as security forces continue their relentless shelling, turning the area into a zone of chaos and escalating tensions as a site of massacre by the Pakistani forces. As you can see on your screens right now, viewers, Pakistani forces continue to unleash terror on the civilians. Zenith continues to be with us. In fact, Zenith getting in visuals where we can, in fact, even hear firing in Arja or POJK as protests continue, widespread protests in POJK, but the occupational force, that is the Pakistani forces, they continue to unleash fire. They also are using grenade against the civilians.
See, Rakshita, we have been seeing the crisis of this kind in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir for a long time, and people are raising their voices now against the establishment and the forces. The Pak forces, the people in the uniform are unleashing terror against the youngsters, against the women and the children. We have been seeing the continuous firing or the artillery that has been used. We are picking that there have been many casualties, and there have been the rumors getting circulated that they are the martyrs. The situation is turning out of control. As we are seeing the panic in the area, there is a complete chaos. We have seen in previous videos also that how the Pak army is unleashing terror on the civilian. But this is the Ajra crossing of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. We have seen the uprising that is coming against the Pakistan establishment and the Pak army, because whatever is decided in Pakistan, it is more coming from the army than the elected representatives of people. People have been living below the poverty line. There is a lot of inflation, and the people doesn't have money even to take care of the daily needs. And now we are seeing the atrocities being carried by the Pak forces when it comes to the civilians, the women, the young kids, or the old age people when it comes this Ajra crossing of POJK, where these videos video has surfaced showing that people are really living in the fear, they are living in the chaos, and they are getting killed, and there is no accountability when it comes to Pak forces in the Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir.
And in fact, Zeenat, we have multiple such videos. Yesterday we played those videos out where even the children, we can play that video again. Yes, that's the one in the middle where you see the women and children. They have joined the stir, and their slogans, if you translate them, is that jisne bhi ye dehshatgardi ki hai, uske piche vardi hai. That is, those behind the terror, that it's the uniform that is behind the terror. So from the young to the old, there is absolute unprecedented mobilization, Zeenat, against the Pakistani occupation forces. And this time we clearly see that the forces are so desperate to quell these protests that they are firing upon civilians. Even women and children are not spared, Zeenat.
Absolutely, Rakshita. We are seeing that the human rights itself are getting violated in the Pakistan, and the Pakistan establishment, the government there is staying silently when it comes to Pakistan army, because the leaders in Pakistan are well aware that in case they try to raise their voice or they try to talk about it, next day their chair will not be, and they will be out of power. So we have seen multiple such videos where the people are crying, they're wailing, they're chiding, and they're showing their desperation that they want to come out of chaos, they want to live their normal life, they want to have their human rights, which are not even given to them when it comes to Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, Zeenat, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you joining us with those inputs, viewers. We shift our focus now to breaking inputs coming in. Ravindra Rana of the BJP has reacted sharply to Omar Abdullah's claim of 30 crore bribe being given to Jammu-based NC MLA. Now, Ravindra Rana says that these are misleading charges. He's in fact posted on social media platform X as well that Omar Abdullah government has lost the ground and these allegations are far from reality. Listen in to what he said, exclusively speaking to Republic TV, in fact.
पिछले कुछ महीनों से उथल पुथल मची है। नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के एमएलएस ने अपने ही कुछ मिनिस्टर्स के ऊपर भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप लगाए हैं। दाचीगाम मीटिंग में एनसी के ज़्यादातर एमएलएस ने उन्हीं के मिनिस्टर के खिलाफ हल्ला बोला है और आज जम्मू कश्मीर के मुख्यमंत्री जी का ये कहना कि 20-30 करोड़ में एमएलए की बात की जा रही है, ये सरासर बेबुनियाद है, तथ्यहीन है, आधारहीन है, इसके पीछे कोई सच्चाई नहीं है। कुछ दिन पहले स्वयं श्री उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब ने इस बात को दोहराया कि अगर मोदी जी की सरकार, केंद्र की सरकार अगर जम्मू कश्मीर में उनकी सरकार की मदद ना करती तो यहाँ की सरकार घुटने के बल आती। बार बार केंद्र सरकार का धन्यवाद उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब ने किया है, जिस प्रकार केंद्र ने जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए फंड्स रिलीज किए हैं। खुद उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब का ये मानना है कि अगर मोदी साहब, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्र की सरकार जम्मू कश्मीर में आर्थिक मामलों में जम्मू कश्मीर की मदद ना करती तो जम्मू कश्मीर में एक साल गुजारना बहुत मुश्किल है। यहाँ सरकारी कर्मचारियों को महीने की सैलरी देना मुश्किल है।
अब ऐसे आरोप क्यों लगे?
और अचानक इतना भयंकर हल्ला बोलना ये ठीक नहीं है, ये निराधार है, बेसलेस और मिसलीडिंग है। दिस इज टोटली baseless, misleading and devoid of the facts.
Gursimran Singh joins us live on the broadcast. Gursimran, well, these are big claims that have been made by Omar Abdullah, the sitting Chief Minister of Jammu Kashmir and NC leader, and now the BJP has challenged him to prove it in court or apologize.
Yes, the BJP has gone all out against the statement that has been made by the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. BJP J&K President Sat Sharma, whom I earlier spoke to, he has also said that the BJP is going to go to the legal route. BJP is going to move court against Omar Abdullah, and they have asked Omar Abdullah either to furnish proofs or tender an unconditional apology, otherwise he should be ready to actually face the heat of the law. BJP National Executive Member Ravindra Rana has also slammed the Omar Abdullah government for hiding its incompetence, and they have said that the National Conference government has failed to live up to the expectations of the people and the manifesto they came before the polls. Now, since they have failed on all the fronts, they are trying to divert the issue. He has said that it is the same Omar Abdullah who was actually was thankful to the Prime Minister and has said that if PM had not extended a helping hand to Jammu and Kashmir, the NC government would have come on the knees. But now he is speaking some other language. He has said that these are the baseless allegations that are being made. But what we are getting to know from the BJP camp, that the BJP is going to go all out against these allegations that have been made. BJP is asking the National Conference to make the name of first the MLA public, the name of the BJP office bearer who made such offer, that is 20 to 30 crore rupees for switching the sites. That should be made public. Now at 6, BJP's legal team is also going to address a press conference in which they will be further sharing the legal route that they are going to take. So this issue that started with a statement that has been made by the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, that has now been taken aggressively by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Tomorrow Omar Abdullah will also be making another speech that is in Jammu regarding the statehood restoration, the fight that they are going to take to the national level also by carrying out a protest at the Jantar Mantar. So now the BJP is also ready to take it head on.
Many thanks for joining us there, Goswami, and staying with us in those. In fact, we continue to bring you more details, viewers, on that story. Omar Abdullah now he has been facing, of course, many questions, and now we have him. All right, let's shift our focus. I think we are moving to what's happening in his own party. Differences are emerging in the National Conference over invite to Mirwais Umar Farooq. Now, MP, the Srinagar MP, Ruhullah Mehdi, says that he is not invited. In fact, he's not even on the list, viewers. And he claims that he was not invited to this event. So the separatist was invited. Ruhullah, another controversial figure. And while Omar Abdullah talks about engineering a divide, he already has a divide in his party. Sample this statement by Ruhullah.
मकरी जल्दी
सर आगा साहब आप यहाँ पे आप कुलगाम आए, लेकिन वहाँ पे एक और भी तकरीब बोल रहे थे बाहर बन के हवाले से।
हाँ तो ठीक है, तकरीब हुई। अब
तो आप ने शिरकत की।
अब इस बात का जवाब मैं कितनी बार दूं? अब उन्हें मेरी जरूरत नहीं है, बुलाया नहीं गया था, मैं था नहीं वहाँ पे। और वैसे भी आप खुद जानते हैं मेरा कुलगाम में भी प्रोग्राम था, श्रीनगर में भी दूसरी जगह पे प्रोग्राम था 25 मुहर्रम के हवाले से। तो मेरी अपनी भी मसरूफियात है और उनको भी अब मेरी ज़रूरत नहीं है। जी
अगर साहब का क्या हाल है? यहाँ पे आप जाएंगे सर, जंतर मंतर पे जाएंगे सर आप? वो धरने के लिए जा रहे हैं 20 जुलाई को सिंह कह रहे हैं।
वो स्टेटहुड ढूंढने के लिए जा रहे हैं जिसके लिए उनको लोगों ने जिम्मेदारी नहीं दी। वो बीजेपी का काम करने जा रहे हैं। मैं जाऊंगा, मैं रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों की बात करने जाऊंगा, 370 के हवाले से बात करने के लिए जाऊंगा। वो बीजेपी की के प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करे, मैं रियासत के लोगों के प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करूंगा।
अगर सर मोदी मोहम्मद उमर फारूक ने कहा कि सिर्फ रियासती दर्जाबंदी पर बात नहीं होनी चाहिए, दफा 370 और 35 की मंसूबी पर भी बात होनी चाहिए।
सही कहा, और नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को मैंडेट ही उसी लिए मिला। स्टेटहुड की जिन्होंने बात की, नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस ने उनके खिलाफ कैंपेनिंग की, हम सब ने उनके खिलाफ कैंपेनिंग की और ये कहा कि ये बीजेपी की बात कर रहे हैं, ये स्टेटस को नॉर्मलाइज करना चाहते हैं, स्टेटहुड की बात करते हैं। जो भी 370 बात करेगा वो स्टेट बीजेपी के प्रोपेगेंडा पे प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहा है। यही हमने इलेक्शन के दौरान कहा और यही लोगों ने भी समझा और इसी के खिलाफ वोट भी दिया और नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को 370 की लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए वोट दिया गया। तो मीरवाइज ने अगर ऐसा कहा है तो सही कहा है, गलत नहीं कहा।
तो आपकी नजर में है कोई नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का लीडर जो कहीं ना कहीं आपके पक्ष में काम कर रहा है? क्या ऐसा
आपकी नजर में है कोई? तो वही।
All right, with that, wrap on this edition of the news, viewers. But on the other side, we continue to bring you the latest updates that are coming in from Vietnam, where a deadly boat capsize has led to the deaths of several Indians. At least 11 of them have died. Of the 15 who are dead, Indians from Andhra and Telangana. And in fact, Indian Embassy has also released the list of the Indians on board the boat that capsized. We'll tell you that at 5 p.m.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
हनी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा मसाला।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater, or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has, but I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No, it was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है। स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान। अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
from Asia's largest news headquarters. Setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Boat capsizes in Vietnam. 15 dead, at least most of them Indian tourists. Deadly boat capsize in Vietnam claims lives of 15 tourists, mostly from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana.
In 40 years, an Indian Prime Minister stands on New Zealand soil. 40 years. That is far too long between visits from family. Let me say, on behalf of 5 million New Zealanders, you are worth the wait.
Dress Lord's Prime Minister Modi's visit. 40 years, first Prime Minister to visit New Zealand, calls it worth the wait. Prime Minister Modi addresses Indian diaspora and lauds the strong people-to-people connect between India and New Zealand. Both leaders hold delegation-level bilateral talks, exchange several MOUs in key sectors, FTA and $20 billion investment on agenda. I warm welcome you watching Live and Breaking, and I'm Arnab with you this Saturday, viewers. And now we start with the tragedy that has struck Vietnam as a tourist boat capsized, and several Indian tourists have been killed. Search for many ongoing. Indian Embassy now has released a list of Indians on board the boat that capsized, and 32 Indians were on board the boat that capsized in Vietnam. This is what we understand from the list, and most of those who have been killed are Indians, and the rescue operation is still underway. And viewers, this is the latest update that we're getting to you right now. Indian Embassy has released a list of Indians on board that capsized. And in fact, Minister Nara Lokesh has taken cognizance of Vietnam boat capsizing, directing Andhra Pradesh Bhavan officials to extend all possible support as well. And officials have informed Nara Lokesh, the minister, that they are in touch with the Indian Embassy in Vietnam regarding the incident. He has directed the officials to coordinate with central government and extend all possible assistance to the affected persons. So 32 Indians were on board. And we are also going to flash that control room number. Boat carrying Indian tourists capsizes near island in Vietnam. And these were all tourists, 15 Indian tourists, at least 15 tourists killed. More than 20 have been rescued. That's the figure we're getting in right now. Out of those, 15 were Indians, is what we are told. 15 Indians have died. That's the breaking news we have right now. At least 15 dead in the tragedy. Chandrakala joins us live on the broadcast. For more, Chandrakala, tell us more details now. The list has been released by the Indian Embassy.
Well, just now we have learned that an official information has come in from the Indian mission in Vietnam, where we are learning that they have confirmed, in fact, they have confirmed that they have put out a list of those who were actually there in the boat, wherein 32 Indian tourists were on board the boat which capsized near Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. They have given a list of the members who were there in the boat. 32 people were in that particular boat that capsized just a while ago in Vietnam, a very, very shocking incident. Well, we have sought a response from the ministry here in New Delhi, Ministry of External Affairs from here in New Delhi, to give the exact detail as to how many people have died. But yes, initial information is coming in is that 15 people have lost their lives. Few of them has been rescued, but regarding the conditions, it's not very sure as to what's the condition as of now, as far as medical assistance has been provided to those those who were taken to the hospital. And as far as, but yes, 32 members, 32 Indians were present in that boat. That's officially confirmed now. And this happened just a while back in Vietnam, in Pho Quoc Island, which is a largest island in Vietnam, wherein a lot of Indian tourists, not only Indian tourists, people from across the world visit that particular island. It's vacation time, and it's very unfortunate that 32 members, 32 Indian tourists were there on the boat. 15 have lost their lives. Given the fact that most of the Indians that we are learning is that, as per their the information is that they belong from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and the fact that an official response is still awaited from the Indian authorities, if they have taken up this issue with the Vietnamese authorities there, with the Indian mission in Vietnam. But yes, for time now, for the time being, of course, a control room has been established in Indian mission in Vietnam, wherein few helpline numbers has been provided for the families affected, who can reach out in this number because their loved one must be trapped. There are many who are still stranded, and of course efforts are underway to search operation is still underway, and efforts are underway to find out how many of them have lost their lives and how many has been rescued, how many are still trapped. So yes, this latest development, what we are learning is that it's confirmed that 32 people were there, and 15 of them has lost their lives. Few of them has been rescued, but the number is still not clear. We have sought a response as for the the exact details behind the incident, and yes, this is the latest development we are learning.
We are also picking up some details from Hyderabad, where our correspondent Aishwarya is. Aishwarya is our correspondent in Hyderabad, and we'll try and see if we can go across to her live, because Aishwarya has just shared details of the casualties from Telangana and Hyderabad, from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. In fact, when Republic broke the story this afternoon, roughly about 1:32 p.m., we told you that most of the victims were from Andhra and Telangana, because primarily the first video that was shot here, they were speaking in Telugu, and the people who were at Pho Quoc Island, as part of the large team that was there, also put out a tweet tagging Nara Lokesh, the Deputy Chief Minister, asking for him to help them. Now, we have some more breaking news coming in from Hyderabad, because the story is being monitored very closely in both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, with both governments actively involved. We are hearing, and we can break these details coming in, that the boat capsized around 10:30 a.m. this morning. These are details with Republic. The boat capsized around 10:30. The boat had overturned due to rough waters. The weather changed drastically, leading to the boat capsize. We're also picking up more details of the circumstances, saying the victims here were tourists from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, which has been confirmed now. Many of them who have died, who've lost their lives, they've been identified as citizens of India from both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Some of the names, Sridhar is from Kadapa, for example. Sridhar, one of the victims, we are told, was from Kadapa. You had the videos of the bodies lying on the shores of this particular island. Jayashri was from Machilipatnam. She's among those whose lives were lost. 4 others are from Andhra Pradesh and currently reported missing. We don't know their whereabouts. And what we also hear, and this is breaking news, that a mobile phone company, a phone company based in India, had taken about 250 people to Vietnam. So these were part of the Indian group, almost 250 of them who traveled from India, went to Vietnam as part of a visit arranged by a mobile phone company. This particular company had taken 35 people from Andhra Pradesh, 40 people from Telangana, and that is why you saw that there was a large number of victims are from Andhra and Telangana. 35 people from Andhra Pradesh, 40 from Telangana had travelled here, and the control rooms, of course, have been set up for information regarding the victims. So these are details we're picking up, ladies and gentlemen. The boat capsize itself was at about 10:30 a.m. this morning. 10:30 a.m. this morning, and some of the victims are being identified. We had the detailed names that were put out, the names of 32 victims. We have the names now with us, and Aishwarya is also live. She's picking up more details. 35 from Andhra and 40 from Telangana. Aishwarya, any more details that you have that you can share with us of the coordination that is now going on to ensure those who need help get help?
They both in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh have taken cognizance of this particular incident that has happened in Vietnam. Being said that because most of the tourists are from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, mostly from Andhra Pradesh is what we are learning. So the Minister Nara Lokesh as well has taken the cognizance of this, and they're trying to understand how many of them are dead or are missing that are from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And what we are also learning is that there was a mobile company that had taken almost 250 people from the Telugu-speaking states to Vietnam for a trip, and in that 250. What we are also learning. So there are few people who have been identified for now, where Sridhar is from Kadapa, and there was another Tiki's women who was from Machilipatnam. But however, there are many more who need to be identified, and exact official number is yet to come from the official website of Chief Minister as well as the Andhra Pradesh Minister Nara Lokesh. Both of them are taking cognizance of this particular incident and trying to figure out how many of them are from Telugu-speaking states. And it is said that most of them are from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and they're trying to understand a number, and also have set up control rooms to make sure that be a bridge between the family as well as the incident that has taken place.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those inputs. The latest coming in from Vietnam of the victims we have identified, most of the people who are on board these boats, and from Hyderabad, the story being monitored by both the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The story is developing. We'll keep a close track on the story, ladies and gentlemen. The moment we have an update, we'll come back to it. So another bit of news input that is coming in. 4 from Andhra Pradesh are still missing in Vietnam. We just brought those details to you right now. And in a few minutes, we will have an update of perhaps get details from the Andhra government and the Telangana government as well on how the coordination is happening. Okay, just switching track now to another story, ladies and gentlemen, that's coming in from Kolkata, from Bengal. The story of a mosque banged in the middle of the airport. In fact, the story of the Bankura Mosque followed for many years. Now, the story of the mosque, let's show you the map. There is a map that will put the story into perspective. There has been a mosque banged in the middle of the Kolkata airport for decades. The mosque itself has been there for 136 years. Now, there you have it. That's a 3D video. The mosque was in the middle of the airport. And because of the presence of this mosque, a key runway that was built was never operational. Because that runway was never complete, partly complete, was never finished because the mosque was right there. And that is why Kolkata airport could not expand. Now, this mosque is now going to be moved out of the airport. Now, why this is a concern? Ladies and gentlemen, every single day people would enter the airport and go to the mosque with just Aadhaar card. So, when you go to an airport, there is a biometric. You have to show details to the para forces, the CISF, enter the airport and then board your flight and take the flight safely. There are so many layers of checks, so many concerns before a passenger gets on board. But at this particular mosque, people could just enter the compound and go to the mosque using Aadhaar card, and prayers went on. That mosque is now going to be moved. And why is it going to be moved and why is it a big deal? It's a big deal because one of the primary reasons why Mamata Banerjee refused to act, left refused to act, Congress refused to act, obviously for appeasement, they didn't want to hurt their electorate. But now it's going to be moved. It's going to be moved now completely. We'll go across to Mohan in just a bit. Story being reported from Kolkata. We'll tell you all about it. Taking a short break. And when we come back, getting you the story from Vietnam, where at the Phu Quoc Island, nearly 15 Indians have lost their lives after a boat capsize.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला।
Rosa podcast wants to know, but I'm seeing a very soft version of Arnab. What did you expect? A mad guy shouting at the screen. I can't shut up. As debater, or I'm a crazy debater. Facts everyone has, but I have brought back opinion into journalism because they didn't have the guts. I had the guts, I had the freedom, I had the intellect. I gave it my best shot. I still do it. There's no sense of how much money you want to make. No, it was always how much can you do. I used to be really proud seeing my father in uniform. I realized my father was doing something greater than his own job. If you were to again go back and look at from where you started as a journalist, so much. A junior Rahul would have spoken to a junior Arnab. Which Rahul?
It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night, marking the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in 40 years. It is a great pleasure to honour to host you here today. It's a truly historic event, as you and I have talked about last night, marking the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in 40 years. This visit is also a significant milestone in the
Still a lot of upcoming cars left on the 2026 calendar here in India. Now, I wish I could put a number on it, but remember that when it comes to car launches, timelines keep shifting, specifications and variants keep changing, plans keep changing, and some models inevitably end up moving into the next year. But here's the important part for all of you buyers. The second half of 2026 has a lot of action still left, and some of that is going to affect real purchase decisions. So, there is a whole lot that you can expect. Now, stuff that we already know is coming, like a Thar facelift or, the Kia Ceero CV. Those deliveries will start soon. These are plug-in hybrids. There are, of course, ICE and EV models, lots coming. So, I'm going to try and do this properly. not give you any hype, not like cram in every upcoming car worth waiting for and enticing you with it with absolutely no sense of real detail. So I'm going to go segment by segment. I'm going to separate confirmed information from expected information and then give you a sort of a budget-wise verdict as well. You know, like, should you wait? Should you buy right now? Okay, surprised that I'm starting with sedans? Well, you know, here's the thing. Sedans seem to be having a little bit of a comeback in 2026. I think maybe there's a bit of SUV fatigue that has set in, but for what it's worth, we have excitement around sedans again. We'll start with something a little basic, which is the Volkswagen Virtus. Now, remember that we had the SUVs already getting facelifted, so it is the turn of the sedans from the Volkswagen Group, so both Skoda and VW. The Volkswagen Virtus facelift is the one that I'm expecting by about the fourth quarter of 2026. And it might look like a regular midlife update on the surface, but that big mechanical change that we saw with the SUVs, which will affect day-to-day driving, the 1-liter TSI automatic is going to move from that 6-speed torque converter to the new 8-speed torque converter automatic. Now, that is expected given that we saw that happening on the Kushaq, saw it happening on the Taygun. The 1.5 TSI version of the Virtus should remain the same with the 7-speed DSG. New features and of course some styling changes that will happen too. Now, we could see things like rear seat massage, updated screens, ADAS, even a 360-degree camera. But again, don't treat all of this as final just yet. Volkswagen is going to confirm the exact feature list only closer to the launch. But if you're planning to buy a Virtus and you can stretch out your purchase, this update makes sense waiting for. It's the same exact logic for the Skoda Slavia facelift. Now, the Slavia facelift ideally should come just a little bit before, but it's gotten heavily delayed. So it's going to get clubbed closer to the Virtus is what I'm thinking. And similar sort of timeline in a sense. Now, this will also get some major changes, the ones that I've mentioned, like the new gearbox on the 1-liter version. But it'll also get some styling changes, of course, some few new features that will also get thrown in. Again, the 1.5 should continue with the DSG. Now, for sedan buyers, things have been interesting, right? We just saw the Honda City getting facelifted as well. Huge facelift. Lots of new changes there on that one. If the Virtus or the Slavia are already on your short list and you're not really in a hurry, it makes sense, like I said, to wait for these facelifts to come in. It is close enough and it's not such a long wait. And that gearbox update on the 1-liter could make the car nicer to live with in traffic. Now, let's talk about compact and subcompact SUVs. The Mahindra Thar facelift, I mentioned that at the top. Now, the expected timeline should be August. Why August? Well, of course, Mahindra does everything in August, right? Around the 15th. So, it may not be the big headline that happens on the 15th, but the night before, there's usually a new variant or a facelift that does come out. This one, therefore, should happen around then. I'm talking about the 3-door Thar here. So, it's going to get a lot of what we saw on the Thar Rocks. In my book, this is all really heavily overdue already. So, similar sort of design treatment, same sort of face, lots more of that cabin experience, including the 10.25-inch touchscreen, the rear camera, wireless charger. So, a lot of these features, because the Thar, even the 3-door, is very much a lifestyle vehicle and a lot of people in the cities absolutely love it. So, it's really great that it's going to get all of these things. Again, I think it's just too late, but it's finally coming is what we are told. Familiar engines should continue on it as well. Level 2 ADAS has not been confirmed for the 3-door, but I'm hoping at least it's there on the higher variants. Mahindra has to still confirm that part. Should you wait? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're planning to buy a Thar in the next few months, yes, of course, please wait, because these updates are going to be worth waiting for. Remember that the Thar is practical, of course, but it's also this easygoing urban lifestyle SUV. All those JSW badged cars that are coming to us soon. Now, JSW has a tie-up with Chery, and a lot of Chery's global brands are all set to come into India. But as JSW, those cars from those different brands will be badged JSW over here. The first one could be the G-Tour T2, and that's supposed to arrive around Diwali is what we are told. Now, lots of unanswered questions on this one because the T2 IDM plug-in hybrid has a 1.5-liter turbo petrol engine, and it has that electric motor support with a 26.7 kilowatt-hour battery. Claimed electric-only range is about 140 kilometers. That all sounds really exciting. It'll all come down to pricing, I know, but a PHEV that becomes a little more approachable, well, BYD is promising something similar. We still don't know which final drivetrain and output we will get, or even the name, frankly. But yes, this is something that is definitely coming. And it's one that I can't say I'm really sort of emotionally invested in just yet, because I don't know enough about the India spec. I want to drive the car before I tell you, hey, it's great, please buy it, or don't. But all of this will come down to positioning, pricing, and then of course we'll have other JSW cars coming as well. The BYD Seal U plug-in hybrid is also something that has already been announced for India. It'll come later in the year is what they say, but we're expecting around the festive season as well. This is another plug-in hybrid, but unlike the usual conventional plug-in hybrids, okay, that's confusing, the regular plug-in hybrids, this one isn't just about having like the Toyota kind of system or the Porsche kind of system, which is a big battery that lets you drive electric only, and the engine that also lets you sort of support that to charge the battery and also drive independently as a petrol car. In this case, that petrol engine is always powering the battery. So it's a little bit different. And while, the overall claimed range on a full tank may not seem so attractive in the context of plug-in hybrids, what BYD is saying is that, here's a car that you get used to plugging in, charging, and especially for daily running, you're going to find that this particular system might allow you to do most of your overall week's driving in pure electric mode. So that's interesting. We'll have to wait and see how the car operates here. We're getting the front wheel drive version. We're not going to get the all-wheel drive. But 1200 kilometers is the combined range that is claimed on one tank of petrol. So not getting too excited because I still don't have pricing on this one. So expect this to be a little bit premium. But remember that we already have the Sea Lion 7 and we already have the Seal. So there's only so many places where BYD could position this one. I hope it's attractive. Now let's talk about some more exciting cars, the electric vehicles. At the bottom of that heap in terms of size, the Kia Ceros EV. We've talked about it for months. We always knew it was coming. Finally looks like it'll get to us by August. 15 lakhs to about 20 lakh rupees. That's the expected price range. It could end up becoming one of the most important mass market EV launches for this year. Now, expect good quality in terms of material, cabin finish, and lots of features. And it'll of course be Kia's smallest, most affordable EV in India. But take a look at what they've done with the Carens Clavis EV, and then you get a good sense of what this car should have, and of course what the Ceros already has. So fairly modern looking car, maybe a little bit polarizing in its looks, but as an EV works a little bit better maybe than the ICE version did. In terms of rivals, think about everything from the Nexon or Punch EV to the Mahindra XUV3 XO EV and even the MG Windsor. The Kia has of course not yet told us about what the battery spec is going to be, what the range is going to be, but going by what this platform has done globally with cars like the Hyundai Inster, we're expecting maybe 42 kilowatt hour or 49 kilowatt hour battery. And in terms of budget, well, 15 to 20 lakh rupees already said, so it may be worth waiting for because that's fairly attractive. So lots lined up for the rest of this year, lots to take you into a showroom and keep you excited, lots of test drives that you can do. There's a lot coming, whether it's EV, ICE, and now even PHEV. Things look pretty exciting.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आग और मसाला।
To understand the Ganga Expressway, you start with the map. From Meerut in the northwest of Uttar Pradesh to Prayagraj in the southeast. The expressway runs 594 kilometers through 12 districts. It passes through 519 villages. It brings roughly 8 crore people within reach. In raw numbers, it is India's largest build, operate, transfer project ever executed.